big spoilers because it is about the ending. Okay, here we go. Still with us? Legend of Korra. Did you watch the finale? I hope so. All right. Billy Bogus, which is an amazing name. I really want to believe it's a real name. Just like Mr. and Mrs. Bogus. This is their son, Billy. He writes, I totally agree with Eric's comments about Mako not dying, but I think if he had, it would have undermined Korra and Asami's relationship reveal to some degree. I think that a small part of the audience might think that they were going off together because they were both sad about losing the boy they both loved, which would not be the message they were trying to send. I think they considered it and realized that the final moment was too important and that Mako's death might muddy it, even if only a tiny bit. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Wishing you both a Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Yeah, I actually,
Billy Bogus.
Billy Bogus. I think that's a really great point, actually. I hadn't really thought about that, but I think that's true.
I will say I did think about it over the holidays as I was consumed with Korrasami obsession and looking at people's reaction videos and stuff. And I did think, you know what? If they had killed Mako, it completely would have messed with the ending for a couple reasons. There would have been that reason that people were like reading into it, or snarky or not, being like, oh, well, he's dead, so I guess we'll just hook up together. You know? He's not an option for either of us. More so, though, even, because that's a stupid thing to think, but more so I think it would also kind of mess with the audience a little bit because Mako was one of the main characters. And if he had just died, even if some time was supposed to have passed for the characters, it still would have felt weird because as much as Asami's dad affects her, he wasn't a main character. So it's not going to like hit the audience.
Yeah.
Mako's death would have hit the audience, and it would have kind of soured anything that happens right after. It would have kind of overwhelmed to some degree.
And I mean, though it's tragic and she's going to be grieving, there's something, in the natural order of life that parents die before their children, ideally. And so, but if Mako had died, it'd be like this very young person who had his whole life ahead of him, and it would have had a different kind of tragedy, and it would have been, I think, very undermining and weird to be like, happily ever after now. Like, let's go off into the spirit world and make sweet, sweet love. I kind of see all of those reasons not to do that. Because I remember when you mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, that would have had an impact if they should have take someone out.
Take someone out, yeah.
But they were already, they had a big end game, they were.
That they had to have known. I mean, they're not naive. They kind of would know
that was going to be the topic of conversation for the fan base for a while.
Right. And it almost would have made even some of the people who were already angry even angrier because it's like, oh, no one cares about poor Mako.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these two girls hooked up and poor Mako. Yeah. I still think, because my biggest complaint was that I kind of almost wish they didn't even do the like tease of like, make it seem like he was going to die. Like, I just kind of felt like, you didn't really need to do that. So I still, if I could have like, changed something slightly, I guess that would have been it. Still have him get his badass moment.
Yeah.
Because that was a great moment for him.
It was, but I would agree. That felt, I didn't need it personally, and I didn't think they were really going to kill him because they had just had the other moment. Right. And I was like, what is this for?
Right.
I don't need all this, Other than that, I really like the finale, as we've talked about. And we wrote about why we thought that, Korrasami was a wonderful thing, and I maintain that.
Oh, yeah.
I am delighted by it. It brings me endless joy.
Same here.
I have a friend who's catching up on Korra right now, and I can't wait for him to be done so that we can talk about it.
Same here, yeah. I love the ending, and I did like that when they put out their statements on it. The creators, one of them said, I did like I can't remember which one. Then they said like, don't worry about Mako. Mako will be just fine. He'll have plenty of people interested.
There are plenty of ladies that will like Mako. Yeah.
He'll be fine. But yes, that was a very good point to Billy Bogus, whose name is now my favorite thing.